All right, JR Reviews back with another pre-workout review. This morning we are mobile, we're on the go, but we're still getting it done. So let's go over this pre-workout real quick. This morning we are talking about Insane Labz Psychotic X. That little label there, you won't be able to see it, so we'll talk about the label a little bit. But Psychotic X, what's different between Psychotic X and Psychotic OG, Saw, what other million versions there are of this pre-workout? But the difference in it is what made me so intrigued to run it, in all honesty. So Psychotic X is and it's not extreme, because there's an extreme version as well. It's just the X, but a Psychotic X is brick and mortar only. So I think you can get it, I know you can get it on Insane Labz website, but other than that, it's supposed to be in-store only. So a lot of these websites like NutriCartel and places like that, I think NutriCartel is carrying it, but it'd be one of those things where you have to email them and actually ask for it, because they're not going to list it on the website. So it's brick and mortar only, and it's hard to see from this little label, but I'll put the label on the screen here. This is a 1 scoop, 2 scoop, full transparent label from Insane Labz, which is not what we're used to seeing. Insane Labz gets a lot of, I'd say a lot of hate. A lot of people, that's one of their biggest gripes about Insane Labz is it's always a proprietary blend. Now, they always hit, they always perform, but people obviously, they like to know what they're putting in their body at what exact dosage, that they're doing so. But at the same time, like I always say on here, I mean, we're just assuming that's actually what's in here. Insane Labz always on their website will disclose their caffeine content, but like I said, with this, every ingredient is disclosed on it. So I've got it pulled up here so we can go over to the actual label and see what's in this. So let's talk about the label first. So like I said, I'll pop it on the screen and then we'll go from there. Okay, starting at the top, we got L-citrulline malate at 6 grams. So that's obviously for pump. So they're putting a pump formula in this. Betas at 3.2. You got betaine anhydrous at 2.5. You've got agmatine sulfate at 1 gram. You've got, where am I at here? Alpha GPC at 800 milligrams. You got caffeine anhydrous at 275. Ampleberry at 150 milligrams. Infinergy, which is the slow release caffeine, 100 milligrams. You got Cognitique coffee extract at 100 milligrams. Caffeine citrate, fast acting caffeine at 75 milligrams. You've got Astrogen at 50 milligrams. Oxygold at 225 milligrams. And Alpha Yo at 2.5. So again, this is completely different from what we're used to seeing with Insane Labz, especially on Psychotic. They have pump formulas, standalone pump formulas at that. But for them to have a fully disclosed label and for it to have all the ingredients that you're normally used to seeing in a lot of these pre-workouts with the like with the citrulline and the tri-blend caffeine, I mean, it looks good on paper. So I mean, does it perform the way you think it would? So this again, obviously, if you're looking at this is a sample pack. We're doing another sample, but there's roughly 5-ish servings in this. So I was able to run this multiple times, multiple different ways, which is awesome. I'll start off at the top. This was a fruit punch flavor, and just like every other Insane Labz fruit punch, it's good. I mean, they always have their flavors nailed down pretty tight. So I mean, it was nothing offensive at all. And then the thing that I always love about Insane Labz, and this one's no different, is how quick they come in. Insane Labz, like an Ultra Stem, Edge of Insanity, things like that. If you want to be, just take it and almost like while you're drinking it, you start feeling it brewing. That's what you reach for. A day in which you want to be kind of just woken up from the dead, a big stem bomb. That's, in my opinion, that's what Insane Labz means to me. But this having all the other ingredients in it, I'm like, well, is it going to hit the same? It does. You know, that tri-blend caffeine, you got the fast-acting caffeine that comes in almost immediately while you're drinking it. And then you've got the anhydrous, you know, that's going to kind of, you know, just level you out, keep it going steady. And, you know, the dicaffeine malate, you know, that's going to kind of just taper off at the end and not let you have a big crash. You know, it's just going to carry you out through the workout and a few hours later. And that's my experience with this. I mean, I've ran it. I've never stacked anything else on it. I've always ran it standalone, so I've never done a pump product with it. I didn't feel betas super strong, you know, but I'm so desensitized to betas that's common. Like, I don't expect to, but they're there. I mean, they're apparent, you know, so I know Insane Labz, you know, their sourcing is always very good. And the energy is the star of the show, because I'll tell you, with 2.5 mgs of Alpha Yo, I take Alpha Yo literally every day. You know, if I'm not taking it in a pre-workout, I still will take it for fasted cardio. So I'm gotten to where I don't get the negatives from Alpha Yo, only the positives from being oversaturated. And the Alpha Yo in this is strong, and I love it. I mean, I get all the sweaty, snotty nose, all the side effects, and it carried me all day long. So when I take this, because I work out in the mornings, when I actually work out with it, it does the same thing to me when I take it as a single serving to do cardio. It will just last all day, but it almost like comes in waves. Like, you know, it'll hit me. I'll work out in the mornings, and then it'll hit me again like at 11. So a lot of people, I know that's a negative because they don't want to sweat and stuff all day long, but it just goes to show like how well sourced it is. And that's the star of the show again, is the sense of urgency, the energy. So if I would give, you know, if I was to break it down, put a score on it, I would say, you know, taste 8 out of 10, nothing offensive. Pumps probably 6, 6.5, nothing great, but they're there. And energy, sense of urgency / energy, I would give it an 8. You know, it's to me, it's typical Insane Labz product, you know, when it comes to the energy part of it. But with that being said, is this something that I'm going to reach for over a OG Psychotic, a Psychotic Saw, a whatever, you know, iteration of Psychotic you want to throw in there? To me, no. And that's why I love, you know, getting these big sample packs like this, is it lets me run it. Like I said, I've ran it with single scoop, double scoop, you know, with cardio, with working out, just to see how it performs. And I know I will not be purchasing this. And again, I'm not saying that because it's a bad pre-workout, but I would rather have their OG Psychotic. You know, I'd rather have a big stem bomb that's going to be just insanely stemmed out of my brain, that I can stack a bloodbath, you know, or a pump product on it. To me, this is just a, you know, a mild run-of-the-mill kind of entry-level Stem Junkie pre. It's up there with, you know, a lot of your alpha lines. It's up there with, you know, your pandas, things like that. It's going to have just almost like a typical, you know, a typical pump matrix, energy matrix, and a little bit of Alpha Yo. So to me, it's nothing special. It's not going to stand out in a crowd of those, you know. I feel like I've got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you know, other pre-workouts that have that same experience, have that same ingredient profile. So it's not worth me adding on to it. But now, you know, anybody that's looking to get into the Stem Junkie world, but they don't want to go full-blown Psychotic, you know, this is a good, this is a good, you know, option for them, you know, because I do like the 1 scoop, 2 scoop, because you're not used to seeing that with Psychotic. You know, I like that you can take it with 40 servings, 20 servings, and kind of dial it to make it your own. But at the same time, somebody like myself that's experienced with this, it just doesn't fit for me. But again, if you're looking to just get a good daily driver, I don't think you can go wrong with this, because it's got everything that you need in it. But I just like to hear your all's thoughts and opinions on it and see if it's the same as mine, because that's what I love about this is, you know, everybody has different experiences. Somebody may take this and be like, that caffeine content, you know, the Alpha Yo, the pumps are crazy, whatever it is, you know, and it just might not be the same as me, you know, but like I said, this is something that somebody could pick up, run it every day, and be content and happy with it. To me and a lot of my friends, you know, we're always searching for that illicit stuff. We're always searching for the next bigger, better thing, that kind of obsolete, obscure thing. So that's why, you know, to me, I'm not going to spend the money on it. But again, it's cool that this is brick and mortar only. So if you're supporting, you know, a mom and pop place, then chances are they may be they either getting this in or they already have it. So Psychotic X Insane Labz, check it out. Let me know what y'all think.